Hello, Abnormal Investigations. I've got another encounter for you. This one here, it's not going to end as well as the last two we done with the two children where they were actually found and found safe. Sometimes things don't turn out that well. Unfortunately, this is one of those ones that doesn't have such a happy ending. And it's one of those ones that is hard to investigate whenever you know that the ending to this one has already been probably fulfilled, and there's nothing you can do to change it or to save that person. All you can do is report on the facts and hope that people can learn from it and that it may save another person from going through what these individuals have went through. The name on this case we're going to talk about is Stacey Arras. The date that this happened was July 17th, 1981. She was 14 years old whenever she went missing. The location that this happened at was Yosemite National Park. The time she has been missing, she was never recovered. The moon phase at the time of her disappearance was a full moon, which goes against pretty much what I had thought. I don't say they don't attack on full moons. I just don't think it's their favorite time to do so. Arras was traveling with her others when she disappeared. She and her father were with 6 other people. Their group was horseback riding and had reached Sunrise High Sierra Camp before Arras wandered off to take photographs of the nearby lake. So what she decided to do, guys, is there was a lake within a certain amount of distance from where they was at, and she had decided that she wanted to go and photograph this lake. Whenever she went to photograph the lake, of course, she was never seen again. But what we have here is what Mr. Politis had spoke about, is the point of separation. When they are not in the safety of groups and they go out on their own and you have that separation, then you have where they go missing. And that is where I believe that these creatures are opportunists. Odds are, in my opinion, she was being watched the whole time. And whenever she decided to separate from everybody and to go take those photographs, unfortunately, what was watching her showed itself and done what these things do. They destroy families, they take lives, and they make people disappear. The camp was a tourist destination, meaning there were people around to watch Arras as she walked toward the lake. I believe as long as they have places to hide themselves, that they will still stalk you even in populated places. Yosemite National Park has a lot of terrain, a lot of bushes, a lot of places it can hide, trees, etc. These creatures, I believe, just like D.A. Roberts says, they have adaptive camouflage. If they have somewhere to hide, they will hide there and wait to ambush somebody that they have decided, for some reason or however they do it, that they are the person that they're going to go after, or they're the person they're interested in, or they're the person that's going to end up missing. Now, the last known person to see her was a tour guide at the camp. The tour guide was 77 years old. While the group was resting, Arras told her father that she wanted to hike down to the lake to take pictures of a nearby lake. Her father declined to join her. When Arras left her companions, the tour guide recalled seeing her standing on a rock about 50 yards south of the trail. The trail to the lake was only about 1.5 miles long. You know, whenever they say that, if she decided to go to the lake and she decided to do the photographs there, 1.5 miles in a wooded area, in a large area like that, to me would be a long ways. So I would have to disagree with the statement that they made here that 1.5 miles is not that far. 1.5 miles is a long ways. You may not even be able to hear somebody scream at 1.5 miles if she in fact made that that trip on her own. When Arras wandered off, a 77-year-old man from her camp group accompanied her. The man sat down to rest while Arras walked ahead. When Arras didn't return, the man got up to look for her, then gathered the remainder of the group to search more extensively. He later reported that he had spoken with a group of hikers, but they also had not seen her. They came from the direction that she had went to photograph the lake. The only thing that they found that she left behind after she had went missing, despite the search beginning only minutes after Arras vanished, no one found any trace of the 14-year-old girl except for the lens that fell from her camera. It was found inside the grove of trees Arras entered before presumably taking photographs of the lake. Now, I believe that she was being stalked even up until this point by whatever took her, and whenever she stepped into the bushes, that is where and when it attacked her. I also believe it had been stalking her for a while. Arras reportedly had several other items on her person. She was wearing an ankle bracelet and possibly studded earrings. As well as carrying binoculars and her camera, none of these items were ever found. I'm sure those items are wherever she was taken. Probably underground would be my guess. The search to find her was extensive. Arras' group began searching for the little girl not long after she disappeared, and the rescue crews invested extensive efforts to find her. It's all the more bizarre that she was not found. By some reports, up to 150 people looked for the team, which includes roughly 67 Mountain Rescue Association volunteers, dogs, and helicopters, all canvassing a 3 to 5 square mile area around Sunrise Lake. Despite this, the camera lens is the only clue. This is very common, guys. When people go missing, they don't find much, because whatever these things are, I believe they also have an escape route. The dogs employed in the search were unable to pick up any scents because of dry and dusty conditions. I don't believe that's why. I believe that they know it's an apex predator. The National Park Service does not keep track of disappearances. I have to ask myself, why do they not keep track of disappearances whenever every other law enforcement agency does? Is it because they expect it and they don't want to have to answer for it? That would be my question. Arras is one of the many people who disappeared in the national parks, though the exact number is unknown because the national parks do not keep records of the people that go missing on their lands. So keep that in mind next time you're in a national park. If you go missing, they're not going to keep a record of you. Since Arras vanished while taking photographs of a lake, it is possible that she slipped into the water, they thought. So search and rescue, however, sent in divers and spent time walking search dogs around the lake. But they came back with nothing. There is little to no evidence to suggest that a person is responsible for her disappearance. But some do still speculate that. Moreover, investigators have not ruled out the possibility of something nefarious. I believe that whatever took her, she was never going to return. It had plenty of time for a head start. It had such a large area, Yosemite National Park. It probably took her underground or took her at a long, long distance very, very fast. There's not a lot to look on this case, guys. There's not a lot to dig into. It's a pretty open-shut case. Happening in a national park, since they don't keep records and they don't release everything, or if they do release it, they make the cost so high that people cannot even afford to get it, even on a FOIA. I want to show you some FOIA pictures at the end of this that's fixing to come up, and they are what was released during a FOIA, request. So, I'm sorry I couldn't find more. There wasn't much on her. God bless her and her family, guys. And until next time, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. We'll see you on the next one.